5, 4, 3, 2.
Movie Minecraft News! Movie Minecraft News! Movie Minecraft News! Movie Minecraft News!
Hey, this is B-Movie Mike, and as promised, I'm back to review 2013's World War Z. World War Z was directed by Mark Forster and stars Brad Pitt, Marielle Enos, Daniela Cortez, and Fana Mokoina. The story of World War Z starts out in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where a rabies-like viral pandemic is turning the residents of the city into undead zombie-like creatures. Former UN investigator Jerry Lane, his wife, and their 2 young daughters are stuck in traffic when all hell breaks loose. After a few confrontations with the zombie-like infected creatures and a switch of vehicles, Jerry is finally able to get his family out of the city. While on the road, Jerry receives a phone call from his former boss at the UN, who agrees to evacuate Jerry and his family and take them to the safety of a Navy vessel. Jerry and his family arrive at the Navy vessel via helicopter, and at first everything seems fine. That is, until Jerry is told that unless he resumes his old job and helps them find the origin of the outbreak, he and his family will be considered non-essential personnel and forced to leave the safety of the ship. With the safety of his family hanging in the balance, Jerry has no choice but to resume his whole job and help the UN to try to get a handle on the pandemic. Jerry's search for answers takes him on a harrowing journey from South Korea to Jerusalem, and finally to Wales, where he ends up at the World Health Organization. It is here that Jerry discovers an exploitable weakness of the infected zombie-like creatures and shares it with the world. And the film comes to a conclusion with what's left of humanity using Jerry's discovery to fight back against the infected hordes in an attempt to reclaim the world. Considering the troubled production of this film, which included rewriting the complete final third of the film during production and about $20 million in reshoots, I was very surprised to find that director Mark Forster managed to deliver a nicely crafted and thrilling film. The cinematography is very well done and provides the film with many amazingly effective shots. The script was very loosely adapted from Max Brooks' book of the same name, and that is not as big of a negative as I had originally expected. The acting is above average throughout the film, with Brad Pitt leading the way with the great performance as the film's hero, Jerry. The only real negative thing I could find in this film was the goofy-looking cartoon-like CGI zombie effects. Well, there is one other thing that rubbed me the wrong way, and that is the zombies are not actually zombies, but infected pandemic victims. Now, to me, there's a big difference between the two, but if that's not as big of a deal to you as it is to me, then you shouldn't have a problem with it. When I first heard that World War Z was going to be made into a film, I was initially very excited, but when I heard that Plan B Productions had bought the rights to the book, my excitement faded a bit. Plan B Productions is, of course, Brad Pitt's production company, and I personally thought that no good could ever come out of this situation. Because you see, in my mind, Brad Pitt, plus a PG-13 rating, plus cartoon-like CGI zombies, could not possibly be anything but complete crap. But after I eventually saw the film, I experienced something very unexpected, because I actually enjoyed the film more than I ever thought was possible. Now that being said, I was still quite disappointed with the CGI depictions of the zombie-like infected creatures, because after all, anything that reminds me of that terrible Day of the Dead remake cannot be a good thing. But the trick is to view this film as a disaster film instead of a zombie film. That way it works surprisingly well. Therefore, as a thrilling disaster film, I can highly recommend that you check out World War Z. But if you're expecting a kick-ass zombie flick, I'm unfortunately going to have to advise you to look elsewhere. Well, this concludes my review of 2013's World War Z. Coming up next week will be my review of the remake of Maniac, starring Elijah Wood. Until then, please check out all the awesome YouTube channels located in my More Channels of Movie Madness section on my YouTube channel. And as always, don't forget to tune in to The Sausage Factory, live every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on The Sausage Factory YouTube channel. Well, that's all I have for you this week. See you next time, and as always, thanks for watching.